Ransomware Rollback helps restore files that have been encrypted, modified, or deleted up to 7 days after an attack. Also, our solution can revert any changes to settings, configurations, and registry keys, and more to help save you time, money, and effort in bringing your endpoints to their healthy pre-attack state. Robert, please lead the demo.
So here I have an example of a policy for ransomware rollback in our ThreatDown management console called Nebula. Just want to talk a little high level of some of these settings. So as you see here, we have in the endpoint detection and response, the ability to configure our ransomware rollback and our suspicious activity for Windows, Macs, and Linux. This first checkbox here is turning on the suspicious activity. This is the part that would be tracking or would say recording the things that are going on in your environment. That way, when you go to remediate, we know what had happened and we know how to help you put it back into place. For today's discussion, we're really going to focus on these ransomware rollback settings. So as I enable this particular setting, I see that I have a few settings down here. Just a high level on what they do. So number one, we have the rollback time frame. We give you anywhere from 1 day to 7 days to hold these backups of these files and be able to restore them. Number two is a rollback free disk space quota. So whenever we go to make a backup of these files, we are going to leave these files on your actual endpoint. We're not going to collect them up in the cloud, so you do not have to worry about compliance. As you see, we can move the slider anywhere from 10% of your free space to 70% of your free space. We will check this regularly to make sure that it's not filling up and also allow you to be able to adjust one way or another. And then the third part would be what type of file size or the actual size of the file that you're willing to let us back up. So as you see, the default is at 20 megs, but you could go as low as 1 meg and up to 100 megs for a workstation. And for servers, we let you go all the way up to a gig. Now let's go look at a suspicious activity and see how it might work in your environment if you were to happen to have ransomware. Now let's take a simulated look at a ransomware infection and how our ransomware rollback works. So here you see I'm on our suspicious activities. I'm going to click into this location so we can look at this threat and make a determination on what we want to do. So at the top, you see there is a summary, and this is all aligned with the MITRE ATT&CK framework. We also have an incident timeline. But for today's discussion, we're just going to really drill down into, what it looks like with ransomware. So, as I scroll down a little bit, I can see here there is a process that looks like the name's randomly generated. I do see that there were some shadow copies that were deleted. So as I hover over it, you can see the tactics, the techniques, and even the context around what was going on. But you also see right next to it that there is a ransomware activity. It's high severity, also the tactics and technique. Now, also in the top right here, you see the context. So you can see the amount of directories that are affected, what extension is used in this particular type of activity, as well as the file count. From there, I know now that this particular process has a particular name. So what we'll do is we'll just kind of look through this particular process graph, and from there we'll just kind of have this conversation around the ransomware and what you can do to remediate it. So if you notice this particular randomly generated name, we see the process here. I see that this process was dropped by another process, but I click right here. And when I do, I get more context. So when did this happen? The user was logged in. Example, where did this maybe originate from? Some hashes. But really what I want to point out is the fact that during the particular ransomware, there is some activities here. You see there is a file write, rename, and delete, which is normal with ransomware. I see the number 83. I click on this. When I click on to that particular aspect, then I'm going to be able to see what was the file name or what was the file before it had any kind of encryption, and then what happens after, or what does the ransomware actually do. Today's discussion, I won't go into a high level type of, or excuse me, more granular type of discussion around, how this works, but I just wanted to kind of show you a few things. So, as you see, these were the files or the file name before it was encrypted. This is the file name after it's encrypted. So we do keep a log of this. We are aware of where these particular files are. And when it comes down to remediating, this is how we're able to roll it back or keep that history and be able to put you back to that clean state. So if we've determined that this is something that was not needed or desired in my environment, then I would simply come up here to this respond. I'd click remediate. So one of the things our ransomware rollback does is it keeps a backup of all of these changes. So when you hit remediate it, it will go in and reverse those or make those changes back to the original state. In a case of ransomware rollback, that's going to tell us, hey, those files that were clean before they were touched, put them back into place, get rid of those encrypted files, click to remediate, and you're done.